It started with the student. How do we ultimately help the student?
Pearson came to IDEO and asked us to help them make AIMSweb go from being an incredibly useful tool to one that's not only useful but also much more usable and much more desirable. I'm Stacy McCullough. I'm a design researcher from IDEO.
Educators are busy people. I mean, they're working. They don't have time to learn applications or learn the intricacies of different things within an application. My name is Jay Anderson. I'm the Director of Commercialization for the AIMSweb product line.
We took that product and now we turned it into a great product.
My name is Joe Grostadier and I'm the Vice President of Marketing and Product Management.
It's really amazing how much information you have and how much you can do without navigating to other screens. I'm Julie Page. I'm Director of AIMSweb Products and Services.
So we didn't change what AIMSweb does. We just changed how it does it and how it looks while it's doing it. So that in addition to being useful, which it already was, it's also really intuitive and it's also really appealing.
You log on, your classroom appears, you can immediately see how they've performed compared to a national sample or compared to their school or both.
You see each student, each of their little performance bars, each of their progress and projections. And then if you want more detail, you can just hover. For example, you hover on the projection and it tells you either keep doing what you're doing or hey, you better make a change. You can click on a student and right in the sidebar see all the rest of that student's highlights. Then you could delve into those highlights, so you can go as deep as you want, but that first level of just what you need at a glance, it's on the first screen. We took things that used to be reports tucked away in sort of a reports area and we brought them so that they are the main screens of the interface. So when you turn the thing on, you see your kids, you see which ones are performing well.
You have this powerful data, but you don't have to swim through a lot of results to see what's important and what you need to do about it.
We gave them really a few simple sliders. One says, how long do you have to achieve your goal? And you slide that and you could set it, a number of weeks or by the next benchmark period or by the end of the year or wherever you want in the school year. The next one says how, either based on a standard or based on a norm, how close to, say, 50th percentile or how close to excelling do you need a student to be? Finally, the result of those two sliders tells you whether your goal is quite aggressive based on the ton of data that AIMSweb has about how much kids can learn week to week, or whether it's really conservative and you could push a little harder and get to your goal sooner, or whether it's a really good balanced goal.
We're not just giving you the tool, we're giving you our years of experience and what we've learned about how to set goals.
That is something that I think you'll see in the new product, a shift towards bringing all of that data together, just looking at the whole timeline from beginning to end, whether it's universal screening or progress monitoring, documenting the interventions in between. We're going to bring all of that information together into one complete profile for the student and have that information transparent to all users who should have access to that student record.
Because that data builds up over time, starting from the beginning of the year when there's less there, and then you get, each week you do tests, you get a little more data, you really get very intimate with your information. And so when you turn it on, it's not unfamiliar or overwhelming. You see for each kid whether they have their result in for the week or a little circle meaning, hey, no result yet, you still have that child to test. And if it goes by and you get, say, 3 of those in a row, they turn pink. And if you roll over it, you can see, like, wow, you've missed 3 tests. And, you can either clear those alerts or know that, oh, I really better pull that kid in. We wanted to make it so that it was really clear what was going on and so that it was actionable. You knew whether to stay on track or whether to change your plan. Telling them either, yeah, you're on track, keep doing what you're doing, in which case it's green, or no, you're not going to make your goal and you've got to do something about that.
The other thing I think that users are going to appreciate in the new AIMSweb is the reporting features and functionality. I mean, that's the core of what AIMSweb is. It's what we do. We collect data, we report data.
There's a profile for each student. And in the profile page, you could see how they've done on each test, the benchmarks, the intervention, the weekly tests. You can see what their plan is. You can see what teachers or groups they're part of. There's a reports dashboard. Are we making adequate yearly progress? Or how are my 3rd graders going to do on the state test?
It's not just good looking, it's not just slick graphics, but the tool is really easy to use.
Making it dynamic where it makes sense for it to be dynamic, like in the reports.
It started with the student. How do we ultimately help the student?
Probably my favorite moment and what I'm most proud of is when I had an opportunity to see actual users look at an early prototype.
Really fantastic.
And I think that you're really going to see smiles.
We did it.
The people we showed it to think that it's going to help them help kids succeed better.